Welcome to the Rainbow Covenant, Haiku and Art in 3 parts for April and May 2022. I'm Haijin Sharifa Vernice Meytung, and we are going to have a look at 3 original pieces of artwork and read 3 original haiku poems that accompany the work. This first piece, which is called Mahamudra, is the painting is acrylic on canvas, on 8 by 10 canvas, with a little bit of charcoal also accenting some of the shapes. And the haiku reads, in Mahamudra, the path starts with a pebble and leads to one taste. In Mahamudra, the path starts with a pebble and leads to one taste. And Mahamudra is a particular meditation practice that I happen to practice. And I painted this after a Mahamudra practice session. And within the session, I was reflecting on all of the many aspects of my personal spiritual journey. And so the colors tend to represent that. You see some of the blues of Yemaya, which is part of the Ifa spirituality, some of the yellow for Oshun. These are um, uh, expressions of the elements of water and the energy of water. The brown just representing, of course, my own spirit, my own journey, myself moving through these particular spiritual experiences. And then the orange, some of the orange there representing the Buddhist way. And so all the very many influences on my particular journey. And there's even, because of the mixing of the colors, lends itself to some greens, some shades of green there, which brings me in touch with the animistic or the shamanistic aspect of the journey. And so all of this being Mahamudra, being that great seal when one sees beyond the delusion, so to speak, or behind the curtain, sees through the veil, or sees that there is no veil, or that everything in the veil are one. In Mahamudra, the path starts with a pebble and leads to one taste. That's our first piece. The second one is called Unraveling a Line Drawing. And for those familiar, it's a particular style of drawing whereas you begin with some random point on your paper, and with one single line you go through and you draw your picture without lifting your hand from the paper, um, or trying really um, to connect the one line, to connect with that one line, if you will, so that you begin with that one line and you end all with that one line without picking your pencil up and starting again, or erasing and starting again. It's really this experience of where one begins, one trusts the journey until you reach that point where you say, okay, this is it. This is this is what has been revealed. And so the haiku reads, pulling this one thread, I watch as worlds unravel and all thoughts settle. Pulling this one thread, I watch as worlds unravel and all thoughts settle. That is unraveling a line drawing. And this line drawing was done on a 9 by 12 paper and using colored pencils and graphite. And lastly, we have the graphic illustration. As always, I include one graphic illustration, which I build on a website called Storyboard That. And I like to go on Storyboard That with my haiku and see what images I can find that also help to tell that story that the haiku is telling. And this particular piece is called Warmth. Standing in the sun, feet rooted in its warm rays, the day's stresses melt. Standing in the sun, feet rooted in its warm rays, the day's stresses melt. And this haiku I wrote after taking a walk outside a little bit and just standing on the pavement, actually, and allowing myself to, despite the concrete around me, to feel rooted to the earth that is beneath that concrete as the afternoon sun was going down. But that afternoon sun was still so strong and its rays were still so warm that I could just feel all the stress of the day melting away. Standing in the sun, feet rooted in its warm rays, the day's stresses melt. And that's it. That's it for April and May. I hope you will join us again for the next installation. Until then, please be well. See you soon.